not like a bad thing at all. I'm just curious, like, who is your, like, have you talked about, like, Hanover specifically before?
I mean, we've mentioned a couple times. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we always just.
Okay.
I don't think we've went. Oh no, we went in depth with
I haven't listened to everything, so I don't
Yeah.
know if, like.
How dare you?
How dare you say that in front of me,
Oh, we listened to You should have listened to the fucking Franklin podcast. We talked
Dude.
about Franklin for like 30 minutes.
dude.
I listened
No.
to that one.
The whole Franklin football team listened to it too.
That's where we got the most views. All right, you boys ready? We'll go ahead and get started on this shit.
Can the camera see me if I'm sitting back like this, or do I need to scoot up?
You probably need to sit up and speak into the mic.
No.
You know we're already recording right now. This is probably gonna just stay in there.
Why?
Well, fuck you.
Motherfucker, no,
We've
just
been
hop.
talking for like 2 minutes.
Just hop into a conversation. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead and get this going.
Here we go.
The whale has no vagina.
The world has no vagina.
No, the
The
whale.
whale. He said the whale.
Oh, they said.
No, I mumble. I'm a mumble.
All right, here we go.
Just like my person.
Let's get ready to rumble! We're about to cut up now. Move the chains. First down. Do my dance and got me a touchdown. Move the chains. First down. We're about to cut up now. Move the chains. First down. Do my dance and got me a touchdown. Move the chains. First down. We're about to cut up now.
Podcasting fuel.
Just throw in a dip.
Doing a fucking gagger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking what?
Just something to take the edge off to get started, right?
Podcasting fuel.
Is that the Grizzly Wintergreen long cut?
Yeah.
Only men chew that.
Oh, you know your
Actually,
man.
you know your thing. You know
What's
your
your dad
thing?
chew? Doesn't your dad chew, like,
Straight.
natural?
Straight, yeah.
This man doesn't do pouches.
He's wild.
Well, welcome back to Moving the Chains, Season 2, Episode 2. It is Thursday, January 17th, 2019. And Sam Smith from last episode is joining us today. What's up, Sam?
What's up, boys? Good to be back.
It's great to have you. We have a pretty good show for you guys today. We're gonna talk a little bit about our weekend. We're gonna break down the divisional round in the NFL. We're gonna talk about who you think the NFL MVP should be. I think that's gonna be a really good segment for us. And then I have a new segment for you guys. It's called Did You Know?
Oh.
A new segment? Yeah.
Ow.
I did a little bit of research. I found some weird news from around the world that I'm just going to tell you guys, and you're just going to give me your honest opinions on it. So that's
I'm
going
willing to bet that neither of us will have known.
You know what? I bet that one of us is number one. Just one fact. I bet.
Okay, we'll set an over-under right now.
How many? Tell us how many questions you have. Tell us how many questions you have. I'm sorry.
I have 4 questions.
4.
Yeah.
Four questions, and there's 2 of us, 8 possible right answers.
So I'm gonna say the line would be 2.5.
2.5?
Take
I'll take the under. 1 or 2.
Well, fuck. If you take the under, that means I guess I would have to take the over.
Okay.
in terms of gambling, one of you has to go either way. So yeah, I'm a 2.5. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm taking the under.
I didn't know any of them, honestly.
I'm gonna lie. I'm just gonna tell you I don't know anything.
Well, I mean, hopefully I know 3 of them then.
Boys, how was your weekend? How was your weekend?
It was good. Before I get to stories, you just want to kind of knock out like what kind of happened to us because I have a story. My story.
Oh yeah.
My story's gonna kind of tie into our next segment.
So it was what was it, Friday morning?
Yeah, like really
Friday
early.
morning, I get a call at like 8:30 from Tanner. I'm still sleeping. I get a call. I didn't answer it. I was like, fuck, why the hell are you calling me this? I didn't have class till noon. You already woke me up, so I was like, you know, I might as well just read into it. I go through my notifications. I was like, got an email.
A fucking scary email.
Very scary. A lawyer emailed us. I told you about this, Sam.
Yeah, you did. I saw
The lawyer emailed us, and he was like, hey, Tanner. Hey, Jake. Can you tell me what episode that you recorded on December 6th and December 7th where you had Joe Miller and what was the other guy's name?
Pat Kerwin,
Pat Kerwin on?
I believe.
Yeah. And if I couldn't find it on your website, so if you could point me in the right direction, that'd be great. And we're like, I didn't really think much of it. I was like, who the hell is this? Like,
I'm freaking out. I was like, oh,
who is this guy?
fuck.
We copyrighted some. That was my when you sent it. I was like, oh fuck, I just got involved with copyright.
Oh, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, and then I was thinking, I was like, we didn't record in December at all.
No, we didn't record it at all on December 6th or 7th. So like, I don't know where he got those dates from at all.
And I was looking into it because I started like, freaking out, and rather than pay attention in class, I was just Googling stuff.
Oh, this man was freaking the
So-
fuck out.
So Sirius FM,
whatever the sports network channel 88
they have a podcast called Move In the Chains, not Moving.
Without the G.
Yeah, so
Only the
and,
G's
and the two
reside
people
here.
and the two people they sent us are the co-hosts for that show, which technically is not copyright because I mean it's not exact wording.
Oh,
Well, actually,
those guys
you-
host that show?
Yeah, they host
Yeah.
that show.
But
Because I googled them, and like one of them used to be in the UFC or something. I think.
yeah, that was
Uh,
Joe Miller. Joe Miller used to be
Yeah, well-
an MMA fighter.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Pat Crone was like a coach somewhere and like a scout. But the thing about it is like when we made this podcast, like we like
Didn't
We're-
know.
we were thinking of names and like we honestly
Tanner came up with a name. It's a brilliant name.
yeah, and I was like, all right, well let me research it, just in case something else happened. And I mean, we looked everywhere. We couldn't find anything on moving the chains.
But
So-
the thing is, like when we did look up Move In the Chains, there wasn't much on there.
No,
But
like,
they've like been around for 5 years.
yeah, and like I was like legitimately like it took me hours to try researching these people and I couldn't find it. And like, I'm actually kind of curious on what their podcast is, but you got to pay for Sirius FM radio, so
I'm
not
not
gonna do
trying. I'm not trying to pay.
But
for
I mean,
shit.
I'm assuming it's good. I mean, I looked up the guys on Twitter too. I mean,
They're legit.
yeah, they're legit.
They got some
yeah.
good followers. Well,
So-
I mean, we also got some good followers too.
Yeah,
If they're
So-
on Sirius, I'm assuming it's some kind of advertisement thing. Like they
Well,
probably messed something up.
I just want to know like why that guy asked us about those episodes.
He probably just didn't research enough.
he's probably just
But he was looking at our website. He was looking through all of, and I say the date on every single episode that we shoot. I put it out as soon as the next day.
Yeah.
But I don't know why he would come to us. Part of me, Tanner was telling me about this. That he thought that
for a second I thought he was representing them.
that's what I thought too.
And I was like, fuck. And then I looked, and that the lawyer's office. I just probably shouldn't mention his name. Just keep it kind of confidential.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'd just say best bet to do that. But his office was like in Pittsburgh, and that
That show was in Pittsburgh.
huh?
Was that show in Pittsburgh?
That show was in New York,
I mean, that's close.
huh?
I mean, that's pretty close.
I mean,
But if you're in New York-
Northeast, it's-
If you're in New York, you're gonna get a lawyer from New York. I mean, you gotta think how
Yeah,
big.
true.
you're gonna
All
think-
those big New York people.
Yeah, and you gotta think that. And that guy, the lawyer, I looked up like what type of stuff he does, and he doesn't even represent like that type of clientele. So
I was just thinking like it'd be pretty damn cool to get sued.
yeah, for you, it wouldn't be
no,
for
it
me.
would not. I got
No.
sued last year. It's a bitch.
What?
Yeah, you guys didn't know that?
No.
No. What the hell?
Yeah. So it was probably I think like June of the summer before we came here. I was at one buddy's graduation party, and I was going to another buddy's graduation party, and I was just up on some back roads in Dearborn County. It's kind of we get out in the country and whatnot, but I started going around this bend, and big old jacked up dually truck was like straddling the line.
Really?
It almost smacked me. Totaled my car. Oh, I love that car. I think about it all the time.
This happened last summer.
No. Summer before freshman year.
Okay.
So summer of 2016.
Summer
But-
of '69. Sorry.
But no, anyway, so like the cop gets there, and essentially what happened was when I saw him, I freaked out, because I was 18. I was probably going a little too fast, and I even told him that. Like I was naive, and I talked to the cop like I didn't know. I should have just.
Was it a
shut
cool
up.
cop?
Yeah, he was cool. I knew him.
Oh, okay.
It
That,
was
that makes
it
everything
was a
better.
friend of mine's uncle, so I knew who he was.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he's
so I was honest with him.
Small town.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I was honest with him, and but essentially what he was like, well, you, I cannot say it was his fault because you could have been going slower and
Yeah.
stopped and gotten out of the way.
Yeah, of course.
So it went in a wash. Like you take care of yours, I'll take care of mine. And then like 6 months later, my mom calls me freaking out because she got an email from a lawyer because guy sued my mom because the car was under my mom's name. And so it was her property, and essentially he was suing her for letting someone operate her property that wasn't adequate.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is.
Yeah.
Even
learned-
though he said it was a wash.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot about how the legal system sucks.
Did you win?
No, that's why I learned how the legal system sucks. Because he didn't say it was a wash. He said it was my fault.
Yeah.
But
Fuck that dude.
He's kind of an idiot, like big country bumpkin.
No, of course.
But like that, he won. He wanted like $60,000. Like, I'm not gonna get into it.
Oh fuck
I'm
no.
not gonna get into it, but he wanted a lot of money for like lost wages because he was like he said he was fine after, and then he said he missed a bunch of work, and then we got into stuff and like found out that he really didn't miss that much work and really didn't miss out on that much money. But the way the legal system worked is I had insurance coverage
Yeah.
for up to so many dollars on a lawsuit. So my lawyer was like, well, if we give him this much, he'll shut up, get off your back. We won't raise your insurance plan, and it'll be over with. And like I'm 18, and my mom she's like, I can't fucking pay anybody $60,000.
Exactly. Oh my god.
So I mean, we gave him like up to what my insurance would provide for me under our coverage.
Yeah.
And that was that, and I haven't heard anything since.
Well, there you go.
Jesus.
Yeah, but it's not fun. You don't want to be sued.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not
Well,
fun.
the only reason I'd want to get sued is just for the publicity. I think that'd be great for us.
He wants the clout.
Yeah, I mean,
Good way to start in a hole.
yeah, but then you get people talking like moving the chains is suing moving the chains. Like, who are they? Who is moving the chains? And then we get our name out there. We could sell merch. Sue me? Question mark. Lay down the hammer. Get on Judge Joe Brown.
Be ready.
Judge Judy.
Be ready to hit the damn button here.
Okay.
With as hard as it was to find the research on them and find out who they were, I doubt there'd be any publicity on it at all.
Damn.
It legitimately,
Damn.
it legitimately took me hours to figure out who the fuck they were.
I don't blame you, dude.
They weren't even on Wikipedia.
Really.
Yeah.
If you're not on Wikipedia, are you? Well, we're not on
We're
Wikipedia
not-
either.
We're also 3 kids in a college dorm room.
We're
though,
small
you know?
business.
Not even that.
But yeah, football. Football. Anything happening in football this weekend?
Yeah. Let's talk about I mean, my story's gonna tie into football too.
I know. You texted me about this. I want to hear the story.
Which story?
You said you had a story from the weekend that leads
I know.
you to talk.
I know, but I mean, we have another topic here.
Oh, the
We can
girls
talk-
run?
Yeah. You
Oh,
know,
that was a great time. It was cold. It is always cold on Girls Run Day. So for those who don't know, here at Hanover, we have a tradition where the first weekend back from winter break, from Christmas break, the sororities would do their little rush where they get all their new P&Ms and run to their house. And the thing is, every single year, it's either snowing or fucking raining. And it snowed the last 2 years. And it's funny because we always try to put snow in the middle of the street to get one of them to fall over. But
Did anybody fall?
I haven't gotten anybody to fall the last 2 years.
So someone's have to eat shit for Boys Run.
Oh, no,
I did last year.
freshman year, somebody break their foot or break their ankle or something?
No, it's happened twice.
Someone last year tore their ACL.
I'm about to say
Okay.
somebody has
And
someone
then
last year did tear their
I think
ACL.
they broke their foot or something our freshman year.
That's ridiculous. Greek life goes hard here, though.
Anyways,
It's a tradition like no other.
I pulled up late.
I said it started at 12, and for the first time in female history, they were early. So I caught the first sorority running. I was probably about 200 yards away. I was like,
That was for your joke.
I appreciate that. So, I was about 200 yards away. I was like, oh, well, they're starting early. I'm going to score one for them. And I'm dying. But anyways, sorry about that.
Anyways, so kind of watch the second one run, third one run, fourth one run.
It's really quick.
I would say that I
Which isn't common.
No.
especially they were early and
Like, that's their stuff done
Like,
fast.
even with the weather, I thought they'd be behind just by a little bit.
Yeah, I was expecting, like
like a little more of like a chant or something like that.
It was like
but-
Black Friday. Like, as soon as those doors opened, the girls were gone.
Yeah, which rightfully so. I mean, they're excited. They want to get their festivities for the day.
Of
So,
course.
But kind of going to their little spiel now for the weekend. Little Saturday football action.
Dude, I'm so fucking pissed about football on Saturday.
yeah, none of the games are really that good. I mean,
None of them
the Rams-Cowboys game, the score
was close.
it resembles a good game. It really wasn't that close, though, while I was watching it. There's the only point in time I got nervous was when Marcus Peters got that dumbass
Personal foul call. And then
Amari
Cooper scored literally the next play.
That
I was
that
like-
was just a smack in the face.
I was like, we're in fucking trouble. And then after that, we weren't. But anyway, so, watch that game.
The AFC game sucked.
Yeah, so
None of them were close.
we were watching the Rams game in my pod. Obviously, I'm a Rams fan. I don't know how many times I got to say it.
Rams fan.
But, yeah, diehard. Anyways, kind of watching that. I wasn't drinking at all during it because I just kind of felt like it was bad mojo. Like, I don't want to get fucked up for this.
So you got to stick with your mojo when you're watching your team.
So we win. I look at everybody. I go, time to drink. I get hammered. I get real hammered. It was just fucking me and Sam were jamming out to some fucking 80s songs.
Okay.
Some Stranglehold by Ted Nugent.
Absolutely.
Stranglehold, baby.
Banger.
Fucking went outside and slid headfirst in the snow.
I saw that, yeah.
Woke up the next morning. I was missing one of my stitches. Just one.
Where the fuck did it go?
I don't know.
Is it still laying out there in the grass?
See, I don't know where it went because I had a hoodie on.
And your stitches are on top of your wrist, right?
Yeah, they're like on my side. So even when I
the
slid, I
hell?
slid with my palms out, so my stitches would have been on the side.
Yeah, so there'd be like no logical explanation for why they would fall out when you slide.
No, so I just cut the other one out the next morning.
Who cares? I cut my stitches out.
No, yeah, but I mean, it's just the fact that one of them just fucking fell out. I wonder if it's like inside my arm. That'd be kind of sketch.
You still have a stitch inside of you?
Don't they dissolve eventually anyway?
Oh, I don't know.
Only
I
if
was-
they're
I was-
biodegradable.
I was told that a registered nurse or an RN needed to cut it out. So I was like, all right, yeah, I'll just do that. And then I just cut it out
you don't
myself.
need, you don't
Yeah.
need to do that. I had
No.
stitches in my hand because I sliced it open with a table saw.
Oh, I've cut my stitches out every time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You don't need to go to the doctor's office, pay an X amount of money just to get them to
Yeah,
do what
40
you can do at
yeah,
home.
$40 just to get a pair of fingernail clippers out. Yeah, fuck
Yeah, no, not doing that.
that. No.
But let's
Let's
go
get back to topic here. Yeah, Saturday games I wasn't really a fan of.
The Colts, man.
I
The goddamn Colts.
I think that was
It was an overhyped game, I think, for the Colts. I think the Colts got ahead of themselves. And I'm a huge Colts fan. I love the Colts.
yeah, absolutely. I think that was so overhyped because we look back at it. I mean, as a Bengals fan, like I give all you guys shit that
Yeah, we
beat
lost to you
week
guys
one.
in week one.
Obviously, it's a whole different world. Like the Bengals didn't have 17 guys on the IR then,
And
they're-
Luck just came back off of his
but-
injury.
and you have a new coach.
And you got to think what you guys did after week 6.
True.
Fucking amazing.
But it was just, I think it was overhyped because it reminded us that the Colts weren't supposed to be there.
No, they weren't supposed to make the playoffs.
No. But at the same time, that's a sign of promise. For
Oh,
Indianapolis
absolutely.
fans.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, Luck has been to the playoffs. Luck has won a decent amount of the play, but can he be clutch in the playoffs? We've seen it. We saw him lose 2014 to the Patriots, and now we see him lose another big game to the Chiefs. So does Luck have the potential to be clutch in the playoffs, or is he just a during the season kind of quarterback that just wins?
I mean, people said that about Peyton. Peyton was never really uber successful in the playoffs.
Yeah, for the first few years.
Yeah, for the first few years.
Yeah,
You gotta
which
think
kind of brings me to the one thing that
But Luck's entering his 6th year.
how many times has he been
would
in the playoffs?
compare this
3
to,
times. Yeah.
I would
Okay.
compare this to the Andy Dalton stats.
Okay.
Andy Dalton and AJ Green were not the only, I think one of 3 groups of quarterback and receiver to make the playoffs in their first 3 years each year. And obviously they didn't win a game. They still haven't. But
Sorry.
well, that's what I'm getting at is that there were all these comparisons of, I think the other quarterbacks were Peyton Manning and someone else. I don't remember who the other one was, but they were talking about how they started off slow, but they made it, and then they came back and looked, the Bengals still haven't made it.
Yeah.
So I think people start talking about those stats. Well, he's done all these promising things, but that's where it comes. Is it going to happen? Because it hasn't in the case of the Bengals. Obviously, it's a different team.
And the
different
quarterback position is also
pace.
so weird. If you think about it, like, for example, Cam Newton, when he won MVP, he's pretty young, right? He kind of got older, kind of plateaued. Kind of same with, all these other quarterbacks, like Brady and Manning have done. I feel like when they're young, they struggle a little bit, but they're also really successful in the regular season. They plateau. And they hit, fucking 36 and 37. And it looks like they're in, their primes, And I mean, it just,
my God. Breeze?
Yeah, Bree. Yeah, I mean,
Did you see that where they did the 85 defensive players and they polled them on different things, and they polled them on one of the questions was who's the most underrated and overrated quarterbacks.
Oh,
They say
yeah.
Cam Newton's
And
most
the
underrated.
Cam Newton was the most underrated. He's won an MVP.
Yeah,
Who was the
He's been to the
overrated?
Super Bowl.
Kirk Cousins.
That's right.
But
Boy, did he blow.
How can they
How does an
they didn't win
MVP
the Super
be
Bowl, right?
underrated?
No, nobody. When you talk about the great quarterbacks in the NFL right now, nobody mentions a Cam Newton. I guarantee it.
Oh, no. The top 5
Who
are
was
probably...
the MVP of the NFL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was-
3-4 years
Isn't
ago?
that's really the quarterback position is one of the only.
They base it
Basically
all off
do that.
your current stats. They don't look at how well you did in the past. They don't look at what you did 3 years ago. They look at what you did now.
Well, they shouldn't. I mean,
But that's the thing. That's what people do. They look at what happens now. Nobody likes history. Nobody likes to look back at what you did. They want to see what you're doing now, and if you're an MVP, then you'll stand out. But Cam Newton hasn't done anything this year to stand out, so that's why they put him in that underrated category.
That's
he
what I'm
throwing
saying,
to?
It's amazing that the quarterback position is just it's really. I think they should continue to just look at current stats, but at the same time, it's just amazing where there's a lot of other positions where you don't see that.
Yeah.
You see guys looking back at the things that they've done over the course of their career, and they consider them a good player still. And then you've got guys like Cam Newton who has done great things and then falls off, has a very average year. Obviously, he gets hurt. That changed things a little bit.
Yeah,
And you got to think his best receiver is Christian McCaffrey
and he's the running
Yeah.
back.
and a old ass Greg Olson.
Man, he's dynamite though.
Yeah, he is. I love
Yeah,
him.
he's doing really good.
But I mean, you got to think. I mean, those are your two best receiving options, and they're technically not receivers.
I mean, Funchess was hurt for part of the year.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, the best person that Cam Newton, I believe, has ever thrown to other than Greg Olson was Kelvin Benjamin. And
he's on the Bills now.
He's
No,
he's an
Chiefs.
offensive lineman now.
he's on the Chiefs now.
Oh, he's on the Chiefs?
The Bills dropped him.
Man,
But you got to think
what
that
did they miss out?
Did he never play with Steve Smith? Was Steve Smith with the Ravens before?
he did play with Steve Smith, I think, for a couple years.
It might have been. It might have been
early
his
couple years.
rookie year, I think, and then Steve Smith went to the Ravens because I knew it wasn't long after he got in.
Yeah, that's my fault. I disrespected Steve Smith. Steve Smith, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Steve.
I
Smith.
watched him play his last ever football game.
Really?
One of my favorite memories. Week 17 in Cincinnati.
He's a dog. I love him.
He is really damn.
I mean,
But
it
it-
was a shitty game because they both sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, back to the thing with Luck.
Like, you shouldn't have to worry. He's in year 6. He's played 3 playoff games.
or 3 playoff appearances or whatever.
But what do you think? What do you think the Colts need to make it to the to be Super Bowl contenders? I mean, they almost made it this year, and
Well, right now they need an offensive line coach.
that is very I just told Tanner.
We just
they
mentioned.
just fired.
How
him.
many times, and this may be one of the craziest firings in the history of the NFL, because how many times have you ever seen an offensive line give up the most sacks in the NFL in
One
one
year.
season and then flip it to the least the next year and then fire your offensive line?
You know why they fired him, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I
I think they should have.
And he should.
I mean, and
It sounds
they're
like the guy's a piece of shit. I
Yeah.
I'm not gonna speak. I don't know the whole story. Obviously, I don't follow the Colts that actively, but obviously.
Yeah, from what I heard, he deserved to be
you
fired.
you can't act like that with professional athletes, grown men. It's
Yeah, right. I mean,
it's not cool.
But how can the Colts bounce back? He was a great offensive line coach apparently because he only gave up
Well, and here's
18 sacks throughout the season.
Maybe we should.
Yeah, I was
about to
just
say.
establish it. Apparently, he told one of the players that he was a waste of life and a piece of shit because he was hurt.
No, he wasn't hurt.
I thought
he was dealing with the death of his family.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't.
Yeah.
But he wasn't gonna. I know it was something like
Called
he
him a
wasn't gonna
failure.
play. He wasn't gonna play, and he called him a failure and a waste of life because he wasn't gonna play after a death in the family.
That's crazy.
I've always thought about that.
Sounds like one of the coaches that we
You
used to
know,
have here.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
We have different different people respond to things different ways. I've always liked to think that football's been a big part of my life, and especially within my family.
Of course.
If I were to ever lose someone close to me,
Yeah, it would depend on the family member.
I feel like specifically for me, a lot of the people closest to me, if they were to pass, like they would want me to.
Exactly.
I would.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be the type of guy to dedicate a game to someone, but some people just don't respond like that, and you have to respect it. People are
Exactly.
different.
And you got to think that guy was probably in the situations like I feel like my mind's not in the
And
right
I don't
place.
even know who it was. It could have
Yeah, I don't
been,
either.
a wife, a child. You never know.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's just, and that affects you physically
Oh,
more
yeah,
than mentally.
absolutely.
I mean,
As a coach, you got to be someone that can relate to a player. Like if a coach went through that, I'm sure they would want to take time off.
and I said it was different because he's a grown man and he's a professional athlete. But at the end of the day, as a coach, it's no different when you're a peewee coach or a pro coach. I feel like, in the fact that those are your guys, you got to stand up and go for bat.
It's your family.
You got to be there for them no matter what. But anyway, not to get it, but that's just it's still wild to me that
Very touchy for sure. Very
Yeah,
touchy
it's-
subject.
Extremely
It's
touchy
just,
subject.
That's got to be tough as an organization.
Yeah.
To have a guy they get a guy, Quentin Nelson, who I told you guys, I really do believe that Quentin Nelson could be the best to ever play the position.
Oh, I
I'm trying to say.
100% believe
You know what,
he
You know what?
scares
Honestly,
me.
you know what?
Really, the coach should do? You got to think you drafted 2 all-pro players.
First and second round.
First, second round. Just, you have this money. If
Who,
you...
Leonard didn't get drafted in the second round.
I thought he did.
The 4th round.
He's a fourth round.
Yes.
Well, he's all pro second team.
That's why people are so amazed by him. Kid from
Yeah.
South Carolina State.
Yeah, so
Damn.
honestly, what they do, they have all this money right now.
$120 million in cap.
So
cap
just
room.
just bring back the people that are on your team, and I mean,
9 overall picks.
you know, and kind of flirt with just don't go out and ball out if you don't want to.
Who do you think we need? What position do you think that we need to be in contention for this round?
Oh no, I lied. It was the second round.
That's why. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I thought I did
round.
read something of him being in the second round.
I mean, I think it'd be nice if you guys got another weapon other than Eric Ebron and T.Y. Hilton.
True. Fucking Ebron, man.
I would say another running back, but thing is, I mean,
Max doing great. Nicky Himes,
yeah. I mean, they're
he's
doing
doing
good.
pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I would say just depth.
I think we do need a receiver that can just ball out. I mean,
I think the biggest issue is T.Y. Hilton needs to move back to the slot, and either
yeah.
Yeah.
And he
it's-
needs to get healthy.
You
That's also
you
one
have
thing.
a guy like Eric Ebron, but he can't consistently go out and play like a number one receiver. He's a tight end, but that's they had to use him as.
I would like to see
outside
it.
receiver.
I would like to see if he can do what he did this year, next year. Because I know in
'Cause he
Detroit,
did-
he was
to
fucking
do anything.
Ask
Just a
Chiefs.
bunch of.
he dropped helly balls.
I think
Wasn't that good?
I think one big thing that would help them is, I think especially with the depth of this year's draft, I think
And they have 9 picks, right? Is that what you just said?
yeah,
9 picks.
I think a pass rusher is a must. I think
Yeah,
they need,
I think we need a Dwight Freeney kind of. Yeah, we need someone who can
obviously
get
that's
that.
not someone you could just pick up any
Exactly.
day.
Yeah.
But they've always
Somebody.
had between Mathis and Freeney, they've had that pure pass rusher, and obviously Darius Leonard had his fair share of sacks this year, but he's not a pure pass rusher. He needs someone to complement him. The back end, the secondary looked good. I'm a big Malik Hooker fan, obviously from Ohio State fan, but I think that would really complement their defense a whole lot.
Yeah, I would just say
agree.
just build
Through the draft, see what it does this year. And if you feel like you need to make like a move immediately, I mean, I wouldn't do it yet. I would wait another year to try making a move in free agency. But give it this year. If this year doesn't work out, you have another first
I think
round
we
exit.
need another right tackle. I think that's where we struggled with the most on line. Like although our line didn't struggle that much, I think the weakness is on the right side because our left side is pretty damn good. You got Quentin Nelson and Anthony Costanzo,
Yeah,
and once we get Ryan Kelly back,
which he played some.
he struggled with injury this year.
Not just
Yeah.
this year. He struggled a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Just
let everybody
get
get
healthy.
healthy.
Build up. You have
Have an off season, build through the draft. Don't focus on making huge moves in free agency.
It amazes, that offensive line is an awesome story as someone who, everyone watches football differently because
Yep.
there's so many different moving components.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm a big line of scrimmage guy. I like to see, what the front seven of the defense is doing, the offensive line, where tight ends are lined up and stuff. I remember back when last season, I believe it was week 1 against the Giants, when Kelly wasn't playing and the guard got hurt. So they moved the guard that they had playing center back out to guard.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And they put in rookie Deshaun Bond, who went to Cincinnati, who I met before, and is a great guy.
Go
and he's
Bearcats.
Good football. Yeah, go Bearcats, baby. He's a great football player. And it was very, very loud. And they couldn't get the snap off. So they had this system where the guard would look behind
Did they do the little
and
tap
watch,
thing?
and he turned and he would tap the center's butt whenever he was ready to snap. And to have to go to something like that in the NFL. And
Week
then-
1.
Yeah, week 1.
As a rookie.
And then-
yeah, literally
and then-
your first time on the field.
and then a year later, you have a dominant offensive line. It's
pretty cool.
It's really-
it's a cool story.
It's amazing what Frank Reich has brought to the culture. All right,
yeah, let's move on.
let's move on. Let's talk about the goddamn Patriots, dude. What the hell?
Max Kellerman said out of all the AFC quarterbacks in that last round, he would take Tom Brady last in the playoffs.
Everybody put Tom Brady last in the playoffs. Stephen A. Smith put him
I
last.
don't know who the fuck everybody is.
Have
Not
you
me.
have we forgotten what Tom has done?
A lot.
Have we forgotten how many rings this man has?
I
One for every finger.
it is.
He's 41 years old.
It is a very popular trend to hate on Tom Brady, and I get it.
I hate him too.
I saw a stat today that said Tom Brady, statistically, because of the amount of times he's been to the AFC Championship, is more likely to make it to the AFC Championship than LeBron is to hit a free throw. And
What?
Than it is for Zion Williams to make a shot in the paint.
And that is
There's
amazing.
also another stat where Tom Brady has won more playoffs games.
Than any quarterback's ever been to it.
Yeah, that one.
He's been to 38. He's won 28.
The next one is Peyton Manning with 27.
That's amazing.
Like,
And on top of that, you're going to take Tom Brady over Philip Rivers, who is
Never beat him.
notorious for choking in the playoffs.
He is now 0-8 against
I
Tom
hate
Brady.
it. I hate it. I love Philip Rivers.
I love Philip.
He has such a
He
passion
competes.
for the game,
And
dude.
10 kids.
And he is
He has
Yeah.
8, 1 on the way. It's going to be 9. He's going to have a full
sorry.
NFL team.
But
So
he-
basically 10.
He's one of the best competitors in the league. I mean, the dude, he's a dog.
I was watching
Oh
the
my
game.
God,
He's
yes.
tough. You
I was
can't
watching
question
the game
his
to start out.
toughness.
Bro, he was just fucking gunning deep balls. The first at least 2 drives that I was watching. Anytime I looked up at the TV, I was eating lunch. Anytime I looked at the TV, it was just a deep ball. I was like, damn, Philip. All right,
Well,
man.
but then after that, he couldn't get the ball off.
No, he couldn't.
They
The
were- I mean,
Patriots
they were
defense
hitting
just
him
looked
every
too damn
play.
good.
Sony Michelle looked too damn good. He had
3 tutties.
and 110 yards at half.
At half?
Yeah, at half, he had 3 touchdowns and 110 yards. Yeah, and you can't stop the Patriots when they have a running back moving
No,
like that.
but going back to everyone loves to hate on Tom Brady, and like I said,
You can't.
I hate the dynasty thing.
I do too.
And you can hate on him as much as you want.
The Patriots
But
are
to
the
say-
Spurs
but
of the
to
NFL.
say, but to say that he's not good because he's a system quarterback, because he doesn't always thread the needle on these long, deep throws, is part of playing the quarterback position not like 80% decision making?
Pretty sure it's all decision making. You decide everything.
I mean,
you
it's got
run
to be
the
it's got to
offense.
be 90% mental, 10% physical. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, as a quarterback.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
To make those dip and dunk throws and to be successful at it, and
Yeah.
to win games doing it, you can't hate on him. He's doing his job. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
The Patriots started off the season. I mean, they ended the season. Like, nobody looked at them as like, oh, yeah, they're going to go. If you were talking to me about it, I thought they would lose the first round of the playoffs. A lot of people thought they were going to lose the first round. But we all just lose the
You could probably find an episode of me saying don't count Tom Brady out because I
probably.
religiously
It's-
say that.
It's very similar to the LeBron thing.
Yeah.
We sit and look at where the Lakers sit in the playoffs right now, but come February, come March, they're gonna continue to move their way up.
It's like
and
they're
then
just
gonna make the
playing with our
playoffs.
minds. Like they look bad. They lose to the Dolphins on a last second Hail Mary. I mean, not like a little hook and ladder sort of bullshit.
They say that Brady's going to retire, Belichick's going to retire. There's problems with him, Belichick and Robert Kraft. Gronk's getting trade rumors. He's threatened to retire if he gets traded.
How much do you think he has left? At 41, realistically.
I think if he can go to the Super Bowl this year, I'd want to say he's done.
So everybody's like saying like, oh, he's like Brady's done in this. His stats this year
Don't tell me they're better. Are they better?
No, they're not better, but they're very identical to one of Peyton Manning's MVP years.
Damn it.
Very identical.
Damn
Like,
it.
Same amount of touchdowns, like maybe off interceptions 1 or 2. I legitimately, like he said he could play till 45. I want to believe him, but I
think that's pushing your luck.
I would kind of want to see where his contract's at. He might retire after contract.
I could see that. I mean, he has kids. The game's getting more physical,
And a
more
hot-ass
dangerous.
It's not really getting more physical for him. He can't get hit below the legs. You got to think. I mean, he's been adapting to the sense that he's like, oh, just check down to James White. I don't care if he gets 15 receptions this game.
Yeah, 15 receptions as a running back.
Like I said, if you win games doing it,
Yeah, just
you
keep
can't
doing it.
hate
Yeah,
on it.
Doing
You
it.
cannot hate on
yeah.
it.
If he keeps fucking winning, then I mean, there's no point of him retiring. I mean, he's making millions right now, just dumping it off 15 times as a running back and winning games.
Which is, like I said, is absolutely fine.
No,
Hate on him all
absolutely
you
fine.
want. He's gonna win, and he does not give a shit.
Yeah, and he shouldn't give a shit. He shouldn't give a fuck about what anybody says.
All right.
Because he's got 5 of them boys.
Question.
Yes.
Is Philip Rivers ever going to make it to the Super Bowl?
No, he
No.
won't.
No,
And I legitimately feel bad for him because
I hate it.
he's so good and like he's just kind of never.
I would say
Could you consider him Hall of Fame bound
yes, absolutely.
without winning a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I would consider him. I mean, he probably won't be first ballot, but he will be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, you got to get he played with a Hall of Fame tight end.
Still playing with a Hall of Fame tight end.
Yeah, still, but I mean, he's not put Antonio Gates didn't put up those numbers, but I'm trying to think of like other people he's thrown to.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah.
I mean, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen's good.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's pretty damn good too, but I mean, you got to think with the
Mike
What's it-
Williams is like a damn basketball player, boxing people
Yeah.
out, defensive.
But what I'm trying to say is, with the talent that he's had and the teams he's had to compete with those early
Indianapolis teams, those Patriots teams.
he's just kind of like that situation, like Dan
Okay,
Marino,
but-
like Dan Marino in the sense that Dan Marino's obviously better, but
so you're gonna compare Rivers to Dan Marino? You think you? I don't think.
in the sense
Put that in
that
the same sentence?
in the sense that his teams were always not as good as the other teams, like the Montana teams that he played against, and the other teams he played against. He wasn't surrounded by as much talent or better coaching than the other teams. Like Tony Dungy always outcoached the Chargers.
Yeah.
Belichick always outcoached the Chargers. So in the sense, yeah, I would compare him to a modern day Dan Marino. He is not as good as Dan Marino. I will say that.
And that's what is.
Okay.
He-
Okay, that makes
he,
more sense.
He is like a Dollar General Dan Marino. And it's well, that's a pretty damn good comparison. You know, I mean, if I could be a dollar store Dan Marino, by all means, I'll take that. But like I said, once again, he is not as good as Dan Marino, but in the sense that he has not had as much talent as Dan Marino, and the coaching as Dan Marino.
I just think in the day and age we're in, and the way we compare quarterbacks, what other position do you tag wins and losses to? You don't. You do it to a
You only do it on the quarterback.
Quarterbacks and coaches. So as a quarterback, you know his win-loss record.
I mean, it's probably still good.
Yeah, but in the playoffs, in terms of
Oh,
that,
it's probably duty.
in today, I think it's tough to make an argument for him to be a Hall of Fame quarterback with a playoff record like he has.
True.
And that's why I said. That's why I said if he gets in, it'll be later down the road. I mean, there's always
he
those.
might be dead.
I mean, you got to think there's always those like little Hall of Fame classes where it's like, okay, talent's not as good, and they let someone random in from like 1975.
Yeah.
He'll be one of those guys.
All right, let's go on to the next game. Eagles and Saints. Another question. Nick Foles or Carson Wentz?
I like Foles.
In terms of what?
In the terms of the fact that I think he's a better leader.
Everybody rallies behind Foles.
You gotta think Foles
Because
gets
he's
in.
only came in to where games where he needs to be rallied behind. Super Bowl, NFC Championship,
All these
playoffs.
Regular season games he's won.
Did he win against the Saints?
Huh?
Did they win against the Saints?
He has a pretty impressive
No,
record as a
He,
starter in the regular season.
but is that game his fault?
No, he played well in that game. He's played well in every game he stepped up in. Now, I'm not considering Wentz is the best potential.
Absolutely. I want to go win a game right now. I don't give a fuck about 5 years. If you're saying right now,
yeah.
I'm taking Foles.
I think in the comparison though, I think Wentz is a better natural quarterback. I think he throws a better ball. He's
Yeah.
more athletic.
I agree.
But I think that they just call better plays. The team rallies a little bit more behind Foles because
Yeah.
they know they need to.
And-
Because you don't have that natural playmaker. And overall, that makes them a better team. So
Exactly, that's what I'm
I think
saying.
he might be the best fit right now. But I think in terms of who's the better quarterback, I'm still taking Wentz.
Yeah, and the Eagles should absolutely build around Wentz.
They should.
I mean, Foles is. I mean, he's probably a little older. I mean, he's been kind of. He went to the Eagles and then he left. He was at the Rams at a point in time. Kind of upset we didn't play him a lot. But anyways, besides the point. Back to the Eagles. Does well last year. Wins Super Bowl MVP. Whatever. He gets his chance again this year. Brings him to the playoffs. Wins a game in the playoffs.
Do you want should the Eagles even consider keeping him around? Because Wentz is injury prone. He's been injured every single year he's been in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Wentz is kind of like one of those guys where it's like
I
he kind of like Lance Stevenson in the fact that
I think he's got a little bit difference. You can call it injury prone, but to tear his ACL the way he did, and then to come back
Yeah.
and get diagnosed with this back thing. The back thing may lead you to say he's injury prone, but when I think of injury prone,
you think of getting hurt a lot.
Yeah, I think of guys who get hurt.
Tyler
It's
Eifert.
always little shit like yeah.
Austin Collie.
Well, and Tyler,
Yeah.
Tyler Eifert is because it's in the concussion, a little disc. You've got a few.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's injury prone.
Obviously, this year's injury to Tyler Eifert was a little different. That's a freak thing you can't control.
Yeah.
I kind of see Nick Foles as like the closer on an MLB team for the Eagles. You got Carson Wentz just goes in there at the beginning of the season, just winning games for them, and then he gets hurt, he gets tired, I guess you could say, and then they just put Nick Foles in to close out the games.
Nick Foles was to Philadelphia what like Lance Stevenson was to Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh, I missed that
To-
guy.
yeah, to the sense that like you put him in.
Don't we all?
You put him anywhere else, he's a decent role player. I mean,
He's all right, but he's in that one city. He's gonna ball out for that city. So
And he's, I mean,
I think Philly will try keeping him around for another year, possibly throw a.
franchise tag. He's on his contract year, right?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
I want to say he's on his contract here. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I mean, if he is, they'll probably try franchise tagging him for a year, see what goes on with that. If not, I feel like they will keep him or try to sign him, and then try flipping something for him.
Okay. All right. Another thing. So we're talking about the Saints. Did you guys see that thing where Sean Payton walked into the locker room, $250,000 in cash,
$225.
in cash, and the Lombardi Trophy, said, "Win 3 fucking games, and this is yours."
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts
That's
on
a
that?
big baller.
That is a very big baller.
You know,
move.
I know multiple people that drank beer with Sean Payton. He
Really?
his coaching career. You know where he started out? Quarterback coach at Indiana State.
Really?
No way.
A couple people that were playing at the time, they were around Sean Payton's age. He was around their age, and he's like, "Where are you guys going tonight?" And they would tell him he could go out and drink with them.
What the hell? We need to get him on here.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah, so there's a little bit off track, but obviously John Wooden,
Yeah.
one of the best basketball coach, arguably in the history of the world. He got his first head coaching job at Dayton High School in northern Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah, and my grandpa coached football there for 30 plus years.
Really?
And I went to middle school there, and it's John Wooden Gymnasium.
That's pretty
So-
damn
so-
cool.
and I don't think anybody knows that. Yeah, he got his first head coaching job. I think he was an assistant at Indiana State,
Yeah.
but then he went to Dayton High School, Northern Kentucky.
Did not know. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. Which is if I'd have stayed there, I'd have graduated with less than 40 kids.
That's nuts.
So yeah, that's how small it was. But yeah, they were
Shit like that's
little
pretty
fun
cool.
fact for you there.
That's a really fun
But
fact.
man, I'm assuming we're gonna talk about this later. But the Saints,
They're
Dude.
Oh, is it Michael Thomas? Right?
Michael Thomas, former Ohio State.
I just know him as can't guard
Another
Mike.
Buckeye.
I just know him as can't guard Mike.
OH.
Because psych. I'm not a big Ohio State guy.
Anyways,
We are.
Anyways, he's a fucking stud.
He's so good.
There's not a literally you can't guard Mike.
I mean, I know it's his Twitter handle, but like he is a
Stud.
Yeah.
He's scary.
Kind of reminds me of Randy Moss.
He's kind of really underrated. We always mention these top guys, like top receivers.
You got Tyreek Hill. You
I
got.
mean, he's really come on this year. I mean, obviously he's had good years in the past, but
he was there last year. I mean, we mentioned
Antonio Brown. We mentioned Odell Beckham Jr. You know, we mentioned guys like that. We don't mention can't guard Mike.
He's pretty damn. Like
He's up
he
there.
comes in clutch too.
Yeah, when you have 170 yards.
That's pretty damn clutch.
I don't mean to go too off topic here, but Odell Beckham Jr. Is he really a top receiver, or is he kind of a hype beast?
He is a hype. I don't like him. I don't like his style. I think he hypes himself up too much.
we should not go in depth on this because I really want to do this a segment.
Okay, we'll save it for later.
push
Yeah.
this
Get on it
off.
later.
Because I'm gonna hold my opinion to myself. Because
All right.
We'll talk about overhyped receivers next episode. How about that?
no, that sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, and then one more thing about the Saints. The last time they were in the Super Bowl, they lost to the Cowboys, the Bucks, and the Panthers. That was in 2009. This year, they've lost to the same team. Are they Super Bowl bound? Is it destiny?
My unbiased answer.
Yeah, I was about to say. I want to hear what you got to say, Mr. Rams fan.
I don't know. It's gonna be a
Great game. Obviously, they have stud DBs to counteract with Jared Goff.
But can they stop the run game right now with it moving as well as it did with Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson?
And they're
Because-
really damn good.
Because the thing about it is you have two different styles of back in the sense that you have Todd Gurley who can run you over, he can outrun you, he can juke you out, he can catch you to the backfield, he can do a lot of different things. Whereas C.J. Anderson, he's 5'8", 225
And
pounds, and
he
He
has-
put on some fucking weight.
He has proved my point that the running back is the most expendable position in football.
because
I'd have to agree.
He would.
he was on the goal line last game against the Cowboys when they won, and everybody said they probably wouldn't because the Cowboys apparently were really fucking good.
Which they were good. I guess.
But anyways, he made Jalen Smith look like child's play on the goal line.
Jalen Smith hit him about the 2.
He just drove him through.
Just drove him through. He scored. Which, I mean, it's kind of weird because, like, Jalen Smith kind of came to the side. I'll give Jalen Smith that. But we had a buddy that was saying, Jalen Smith's one of the best linebackers in the league. He's
Psych.
he's going to dog Gurley. Gurley's not even going to get 60 yards.
100
So-
yards later.
Let me go-
200 yards. 233
200
combined yards
Yeah.
and 3 tutties later.
Let me get 238 yards on you. And both the running backs. Both up. Both up.
Big shout out to Andrew Whitworth.
Yes.
Probably my favorite offensive lineman. I mean, obviously he did everything for the city of Cincinnati and did a lot of good things there and played a lot of good football. I wish he could have found some success there, but I'm happy to see him win because he's. Always
I
been one of
think
my
I think
favorites.
everybody in Cincinnati is happy to see him win.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a guy, like I said, I watch line of scrimmage. It's the way I watch football. You know, he's somebody I've watched since I can remember watching Bengals football.
Yeah.
So I love to see.
He's the
him
leader
do
of that
well.
locker room.
Oh, he came in and kind of changed that. People talk about golf. You talk about Gurley.
But I mean,
Having
he's
a
the leader
veteran-
of that team.
Having a veteran like Andrew Whitworth, who's such a
Yep.
genuinely great guy.
Yeah,
You know,
because
it changes the locker room.
there was 4 game balls given out after the game. C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley got one, obviously. Sean McVay's like, all right, well, let's give one to this leader of our team and the guy that fueled our offensive line, Andrew Whitworth.
Yep.
And then Sean Payton obviously got one because someone else gave him one.
Sean Payton.
No, Sean Payton, sorry, Sean McVay.
There we go.
Yeah,
This
my bad.
talking about the Rams leads into the next part. Rams and Cowboys. We talk about C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley. How dangerous are they, the running back crew? We only
You know, C.J. Anderson before the game was averaging 149.5 yards a game.
he put on a shit ton of weight too. What the hell?
He's kind of just like a fat Maurice Jones-Drew.
And he's still fast as hell.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to think when your second back can produce like that, and you just pick him up. I mean, that says a lot about Sean McVay and the
Says
way
a
he
lot about
coaches.
your offensive line.
And
I'm
a lot.
always going to stand up for him. You know, I am.
Running
Yeah.
backs can't do anything with no line.
Yeah,
I don't care who. I really don't care who.
and you know
are.
what? And the thing I like about the Rams a lot is Gurley and Goff. They know how good their offensive line. They buy him shit every year.
Obviously, there's
those like little like gator things, those little 4-wheel drive golf cart things.
Yeah.
They bought the entire offensive line one.
Yeah, Zeke did that his rookie year too. Just want to throw that out there. Ohio State.
Well, I mean, that's the perfect offensive.
When are you going to give me one?
Never.
When I'm healthy.
He gives
Once-
you, he gives you
me-
2
yeah,
guest
me
appearances
too.
on the podcast.
Once we both make it to the league, and we're on the same team, I'll buy you one.
Once we both finish a full season without getting hurt.
Yeah, that's true. Once we're
But yeah, it just kind of goes to show like how good like Sean McVay is. And, like back to your like saying like who's gonna win the game between the Saints and the Rams. This is gonna be one of the best NFC championship games we've seen in a while. Because as of recent, I feel like the NFC has like kind of been a little weaker in the sense. But I mean, it's just so top heavy this year, and especially with the Rams and Saints. We got the NFC championship game that we've all wanted.
I think this is going to be the best championship round we'll ever see. We have
All right, let's-
ones and twos across the board going at it against each other.
Let's hear it. What do you want to see, and who do you think will win?
Obviously, I want to see the Rams and Saints.
Round 2, that'd be.
I'd want to see the Rams get past the Saints as well.
And the reason why I say this now is because I think it's hard to scout for 2 backs with 2 completely different run styles. Are you gonna scout for CJ? Are you gonna scout for Todd Gurley and him being so versatile, which you have to almost, because I mean he runs off screens well. He's good in the pass game. He's good with the run. You always got to account for him when it comes to play action. Or you're gonna scout for the backup, CJ Anderson, who's just a bowling ball that they just hand it straight to. They don't worry about any of that. Playboy stuff.
I think Aaron Donald is going to absolutely terrorize the Saints' offensive line.
Yeah, I don't know how good the Saints' front 5 is. I mean, obviously they have to be good for them to be.
I mean, they've
in it
given
for
up
a
the
championship.
second least amount of sacks next to the Colts.
Okay, so I mean they're decent.
I mean, they're
But
pretty good, but I feel like Aaron Donald's going to play with a chip on
And-
his shoulder.
in this situation, this is when big time players make big time plays.
Yep.
So I'm looking for Aaron Donald. I'm looking for Todd Gurley. I'm looking for Can't Guard Mike, and I'm looking for Drew Brees to have incredible, almost historic type performances. So whoever plays well out of those 2 for those duos for each team will win the game, and ultimately I think the Rams can do it.
What about the AFC?
AFC. I've seen a lot of people saying it's kind of like the passing of the torch from Brady to Mahomes. I want to see the Chiefs, but it's hard. I'm going to say it again. It's hard to count Brady out, especially what he did last week.
extremely hard.
Yeah, and
I think it's really going to be relied on, can the Chiefs defense
just stop Brady.
put up what they did last week 2 weeks in a row, which
Yeah.
I don't think they have all year.
No.
Obviously,
No, they struggled all year.
and that's what they talk about with that bye week makes a big difference, and it really did.
Yep.
They had a huge difference for the Chiefs. And obviously it did for everyone because we got all 1s and 2 seeds.
Yep.
But it's just, will they be able to produce like that again? They've got some studs on that defense. It really kind of amazes me that they haven't been able to put it together and really, be dominant and stop
Yeah.
anyone. They've been pretty weak throughout the year. Obviously, they played great this past weekend, but
I would like to see Rams Chiefs, in the sense that I said that week 2. I do.
That would just be an explosive I mean, they put up 50 points apiece when they faced each other.
Yeah.
Could you imagine them doing that in the Super
that
Bowl?
was the best game I ever watched in my life. And it wasn't in the sense like, oh, they put up 50. There were defensive stops. There were defensive touchdowns. There were big defensive plays that game.
I think we deserve it.
There was like 3 defensive touchdowns that game.
The Rams linebacker. I can't remember his name. He had 2 of them. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. I know he had a pick 6 and he had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. But
I don't remember his name.
I think
So
we deserve a rematch.
Oh, I think we do too.
I'd love to see it, but like you said, Tanner, you can't count Tom out.
No, you can't. So
It's going to be Tom Brady against the Rams in the Super Bowl, and I hate to say it, but I think Tom wins another one. I hate to say it.
you know what? I don't think so because 2001. My mom's a Patriots fan. Patriots beat the Rams on an Adam Vinatieri field goal. And I cried. I was like, I don't know, like 7-6. Cried. Woke up the next morning.
My mom being the asshole that she is.
Look what's on the front cover of the sports section, Tanner, in the newspaper.
Adam Vinatieri jumping in the air.
Fucking Brady holding up a Super Bowl trophy.
Brady, Super Bowl champ. And I was like,
I cried again. I cried for fucking 3 days.
if it's a rematch,
Football guy, huh?
if it's a rematch, Rams are winning.
Okay, Sam?
I saw a tweet the other day that I thought was funny, but I agree with 100%. And it said, we deserve Chiefs Rams, but we'll get Patriots Saints.
Yeah.
And I
And you know what?
really think
For me being the Rams fan that I am, I want the NFC to win the Super Bowl. I love Breeze. I've always loved Breeze. I like Sean Payton a lot. I'm starting to become a fan of Can't Guard Mike. I mean, obviously I'm a Rams fan, but I just want to see the NFC win. I always root for NFC teams more than AFC teams. I don't know why, but it just seems
It's just because of the Rams being in your conference.
Yeah, but I mean, I really shouldn't care about those 16 other teams. But in a sense, I don't. But.
Down deep inside, I cheer for AFC teams more than NFC just because of the Colts. So
Yeah,
I guess we all have that
actually,
sort of bias.
I think I said this last week. Whenever the Bengals are out of contention, I kind of become not a Colts fan, but
You root for 'em.
I'll pull for them.
Yeah. But that's kind of more of an area thing, I would think.
Yeah,
Because, I root for the Colts,
My
too.
area.
Yeah. If the Colts are playing an NFC team, I'll go for the Colts.
See, and that's why I'm kind of surprised that you're not even advocating for the Patriots a little bit, because that Terre Haute guy, he's their backup quarterback, isn't he?
Oh, he's on their practice squad. Yeah,
Oh,
Danny
is he?
Etling. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But the thing is, he's the only practice squad guy that travels with the team.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So he does travel.
Damn, I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Yeah, well, he literally just sits with Tom Brady and Brian Hoyer. Like, he's like...
Oh, I forgot about Hoyer. I thought he was a backup.
No,
I forgot
he's...
about
No, Hoyer. I don't know why you play Hoyer over him, but you do.
experience.
Yeah, experience. Yeah.
All right.
We have another segment to talk about.
We have an MVP segment. I want to save that for next time because I want to get Caleb and Bass on here to talk about that.
All right.
I want to skip to the news segment called Did You Know? All right? Believe me.
You can't handle the truth.
It's a good movie.
Got some good news for you guys.
Believe me.
All right. So this new segment is I'm just going to tell you guys some random news. You're going to give me your honest and general reaction. All right. So did you know that 47% of the world still believes in extraterrestrial life?
I would say yeah. I would, yeah. Yeah, I would honestly 100% believe that.
Fuck, I believe it.
That seems
There's
high.
got to be something out there.
47%.
I bet if you took a poll, you would have 47%.
I mean, that's probably where the number came from, was a poll.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, if you took a poll,
The polls would be different numbers, especially where you're around. I bet if we took a poll, we would get higher than 47%.
Like here on campus.
yeah. We can put it in the fraternity group message, and we can put it out on Twitter. And we'll
Just
combine
think
the
about
results.
like the evidence that goes the pyramids, aliens. There's no way Egyptians built that shit.
I'm not even saying here. I mean, you got to think extraterrestrial life could be. I'm a big.
Just
I fucking love space.
How are we going to
I love
define
ET. He's
how do we define extraterrestrial? Are we talking like a bacteria? Or are we talking little green men walking around?
It could be a fucking dolphin. Like, I don't know how many light years away.
That's life. Bacteria's life, yeah, but there's organisms that are.
I mean, they call that extraterrestrial.
yeah, there's organisms that are more sophisticated than bacteria.
That walk around somewhere around this Earth. Not Earth, but
Galaxy somewhere far, far away. See what I did there?
I don't think I give a shit enough to have an opinion. To be honest with you.
That's fair.
You don't think there's aliens out there, Sam?
Yeah.
You don't think there's little green men just walking around?
Speaking of which, good movie, fucking creepy. Fourth Kind.
Dude,
It's an alien movie.
I've not seen it.
that shit will fuck you up.
You probably not you if you don't believe in
It
like
fucked-
extra.
I believe it. It fucked me up. I saw that movie when did it come out? 2012, 2014? 2012.
It was earlier than that, I think. It was
2011. Whenever it came out, I was a child and I watched that. I would stay up late at night and I couldn't sleep because I really thought I was gonna get abducted.
I think
I said it for
the
2 nights in a row.
The 2 extraterrestrial movies that I've seen, I guess I've seen and enjoyed, was E.T. and Dude, Where's My Car?
Dude, where's my? You never seen Interstellar?
Okay, yeah, I guess that's.
Interstellar's a good one.
Never seen
I guess
Signs.
that's E.T.
Signs are pretty scary.
Signs is that was the first alien movie that I saw, and it's still today my favorite.
Well, I guess Interstellar wouldn't be.
Yeah,
Inter-
not
like-
really.
Yeah,
they're just searching for
Interstellar.
another world.
Contact. Matthew McConaughey. It's a 1990s movie. That's a pretty good movie too.
Dark Skies.
No.
Missing out on
Star
those
Wars.
ones.
Guardians of the
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2.
No, haven't seen either. One.
Really?
Any Marvel movie, like the Avengers.
I don't like that shit. I like
Really?
real stuff. Like that's why I
Real
like,
shit? No, Will Smith.
Yeah, I like, especially when it comes to like horror movies.
Mhm.
I like the ones that are like real, like shit that. Can
Oh,
really
so you
happen.
like
So
demons
fourth,
and shit.
hey,
Nah, not as much.
Fourth Kind, based on a true story.
Really.
Police
Up in-
footage.
Was it Nome?
Nome, Alaska.
Nome, Alaska.
Huh.
Like they play real footage throughout the movie. It is terrifying.
Let me put in
If-
quotations.
but you only
real,
have to
but-
be into it.
Yeah.
Like they kind of do like
We
this-
watched it in the pod. And
Ew.
yeah, Snacks is actually there. Dude, it fucked all of us up. We were all tripping the fuck out.
No.
I don't want to go to Alaska ever
So that's one.
because of that
Because
movie.
we both said we knew it. So I'm just going to count that as one. I would assume.
I'll
Yeah.
give you that. I'll give you that.
All right, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna know this second one because it's just one that I just want to talk about. Did you know? That's the CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, loses $70 billion in divorce with his wife McKinsey.
I didn't know
and
that.
And still has $70 billion.
Should have signed a prenup.
I did not know that. To be completely honest.
Really, you didn't hear about that?
I mean, honestly, like I don't.
He cheated on his wife.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He kept.
I didn't know he was going through divorce.
Jeff Bezos has so much money that he started a space exploration thing because he had so much money, and then hired his girlfriend to work there just to have her around.
Did you know that they didn't net a profit for like 10 years?
Amazon?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
not know that. I did a study.
They,
on
they started out as a fucking online store in the 90s.
97 is when they actually first came out.
Yeah.
They
People
set-
didn't know the
way
internet.
The way they set things up was like new and unheard of, and but that's
People didn't
they
realize the internet
committed-
was a thing till like
Yeah,
2007.
They committed to the process, and
Yeah, it paid off.
Now we have the world's most richest woman, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, 70 bill. She's richer than Mark Zuckerberg.
Let me hold $1. That's almost said. Let me hold $1.
I'm about to follow her and just if she drops
yeah,
something,
you're
I'll,
gonna slide in.
Yeah. No,
yo, I heard you and Jeff are done. Is that true? What's up?
heard you donezo. What it is?
You need a young, strong man like me to come take care of you.
She's making bank now.
Oh, for sure.
All right. Next one.
There's two.
Did you know a Florida man threatens to kill a man with kindness?
Kindness is his knife?
Uses a machete named Kindness.
Damn it, I did know that
A
one.
Brian Stewart, 30 of Milton, was overheard by neighbors Friday telling a person inside his home that he was going to kill them with kindness. Little did they know that his machete was actually named Kindness.
Hey, how many fingers am I holding up?
See,
Sam?
the one. Yeah, fuck you.
Ha,
The
3.
one- The one thing I didn't know, did he actually kill him or just threaten him?
No, you just threatened
He just threatened him. Stewart was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in the attempt to kill.
Florida news articles over people fucking crazy. People are Florida from crazy. They're crazy.
If you just I looked up Florida news because I knew that they were crazy. What goes on down there? They are a different state. They are in a different world.
They're a different breed.
I think one of my favorite tweets of all time was one time somebody quote tweeted a news article about these people that they were doing, I think it was meth or something, and they bit someone's ear off or something.
The fuck goes on
bad
down
meth.
there?
I don't remember exactly what it was.
They're from Florida.
But someone quote tweeted it and they were like, Jacksonville, we got to do better as a unit. I was just like, yeah, you're right. Y'all motherfuckers
Yeah,
are
I'm telling you,
crazy.
bro, Florida's fucking nuts. I follow an Instagram account that's strictly about
Shit that goes on in
arrests
Florida.
in Florida, and they're just all fucked up. They're all fucked up.
That's the most random thing to follow.
I know, but it's hilarious, so I just follow it.
All right, so what do you get? What do you guys like? 2 for 3?
I'm 3 for 3.
3 for 3? What are you? 2 for 3?
No, that's the only one I knew.
All right, last one, and I'm pretty sure you guys might know this.
Oh wait, there's 4. Did you know? I set the over under thinking there were 3.
I said 4, didn't I?
I thought you said 3.
I thought you said 3.
That's why I put it 2.5.
There's 4.
Doesn't count. You don't win.
No, that's fair.
Did you know? A girl committed suicide by jumping in front of a train after a video of her is leaked having sex with the football team. After the video was leaked, someone quote tweeted it and said, "Live by the train and die by the train."
That's fucked up.
Awful. But I did
Who
know that.
raises those kids?
You got to do better in your questions. I was 4 for 4.
Fuck you, dude. No, this is the first time I'm ever doing this segment.
Well, I got a good one for you.
What?
Did you know? Retired basketball sensation Michael Jordan makes more money from Nike each year, than all of the Nike factory workers in Malaysia combined.
Well, that's like what?
It
$6?
doesn't I didn't know that, but it didn't surprise me.
Is that like
Isn't that fucked up?
$6 they make probably in a year?
I'm going to look up more. I just pulled up this website.
There's some crazy news out there.
I
Guys.
heard. Is this just? I heard that he used to play like hungover a lot.
Yeah, dude. He was like a
He was so good. He
Like,
played.
that was his ritual. Like he got fucked up.
Mike Orzimba. He's a big NBA YouTuber. He does like a bunch of like what if videos and like an NBA conspiracy videos. He did a video on the flu game. You know,
He's
Monica
probably
flu
just
game.
hungover.
Yeah, he said a really fucking bad hangover. And they said David Stern, the NBA commissioner at the time, forced Michael Jordan to retire because he had like a serious gambling problem, and it was like ruining like the NBA's like reputation.
Was that the first time he quit? Or?
The first time he retired,
Okay,
yeah.
so when he went to baseball.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, and that's just like it's just a conspiracy. But there's like so many. Also, we could go into like depth on one episode on like just Michael Jordan's like conspiracies alone because there's so many. Like, have you heard the conspiracy of Jimmy Butler being Michael Jordan's dad? No. Michael Jordan being Jimmy Butler's dad. Sorry.
No.
No, I think I've heard.
I got another.
Yeah, there's.
I got another Florida news. Did you know former NFL player beats up alleged peeping Tom at Florida home? Jeffrey Cassidy, 48, was arrested Monday on a lewd lascivious. How do you say that? Lascivious behavior, charged with the encounter of former Detroit Lion and Tennessee Titan Tony Beckham.
Good for him.
Dude, Florida people. This dude looks so fucked up. Look at this.
Yeah, he does look fucked up.
He looks like one of those creeps that would go around just looking in someone's window.
A man of Florida woke up with a headache to discover his wife had shot him while he slept. He survived.
Oh, dude, I wanted. I wanted to watch that thing that came on. I think CBS or NBC or one of those channels a couple weeks ago about that couple, the chick who cut her husband's dick off. You never heard of that?
No.
Yeah, they did a TV special on it a couple
Was
weeks
on
ago.
590?
No, it was on the ABC.
Florida man bites off his brother's penis after he walks in
Wait,
on his
Florida man bites off his brother's penis.
after he walks in on his brother having sex with his cousin on his favorite Dragon Ball Z blanket.
That can't be real.
That's too much Florida for me.
Florida man steals Christmas wreath off neighbor's door. Hangs it on his own.
Why? It's like $10.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Florida. The dude with the big neck, the black dude. Next up,
Yeah.
Florida.
Dude, they're a different breed, guys. They
Coming
are
next
a
up.
different
Like I
breed.
said, that's too much Florida for me.
All right, well, I think that's enough for today.
Yeah.
We got new segments, new people coming on. Joe Stasiak's going to be on the show next week. Going to give him a call. Going to do a little interview. We're going to hear about that.
Maybe get his MVP prediction.
Yeah. Oh, we can get a Super Bowl prediction.
Yeah, we'll get both of
'Cause
them.
we'll
both of them.
both of them.
Both of them.
All right, guys. Follow us on the gram at Move the Chains with 2 S's on the twits at M_T_C_18. And we'll see you guys next week. Hit it with the outro.
Let's get ready to rumble! We're about to cut up now. Move the chains. First down. Do my dance and got me a touchdown. Move the chains. First down. We're about to cut up now. Move the chains. First down. Do my dance and got me a touchdown. Move the chains. First down. We're about to cut up now.